Hey guys, as always, thanks for stopping by. Sales are through the roof of you know what. How does that affect you? I'm going to give you 4 ways that it affects you and me. Yeah, let's talk about that. Today's episode is brought to you by all of you Patriots. Every thumbs up is a huge help. Y'all know that. All the likes, all the subscribes, it's a big help. So I want to just pause and say thank you to each of y'all. It pushes this thing into the algorithm a little bit faster. And I'm thankful. Now, speaking of that, a couple things. One, if you're already subscribed, thank you. Do you mind double checking that? There's been some funky things. A lot of people have been unsubscribed magically over the last several weeks. I've heard from a lot of y'all saying, hey, Johnny, let people know they're being unsubscribed. We don't know what's going on. The algorithm is really funky right now, and things on this platform are super funky. If you don't mind checking that, that'd be a help to me. So thanks for checking that subscription. Also, speaking of the funky algorithm, I'm not saying specific words today. You'll see. You'll be able to follow along really easy. Have some patience with me. Things are really, really weird on the back end of this platform right now. I'm just checking out with some keywords because it's listening. The algorithm is listening very carefully, so I'm going to be very careful with my words. Please be patient. I'm trying some things out, just trying to see what's going on and testing a couple things. Now, sales are through the roof of these things, as well as how you feed those things. And it matters. It really does matter. It affects me. It affects you. So I'm going to go through 4 ways that it affects us. And these are really important. And I think we need to be mindful and aware of what's going on. Because, again, it does affect our day-to-day lives, not just as hobbyists, but also as defenders of this country, defenders of our lives, of our livelihoods, currently of our businesses, that sort of stuff. So it matters. It really does matter. First, scarcity of the little things that you put into the big ones. And those are going to continue. We're going to see a lot of scarcity. So we need to be mindful of that. If you see something at a good price, you may want to pick up an extra couple boxes. Not talking about hoarding, but I am talking about whether you need powder or the other ones or the boxes. They come in boxes of 50 usually, so you know what I mean. Boxes of 50, boxes of 20, pick you up a couple extra boxes. 1, scarcity. Number 2, prices are going to be pretty bad. I think we're going to have the rest of the summer probably some bad prices. I think the days of the $3.99, you know what I'm talking about, the big ones, those days are probably over for a while. So if there's something you want to get and you find it, you may want to pick it up. But we're going to have scarcity of everything coming up. But also I think prices are going to be a little bit bad. Now, neither one of those are that surprising. Push those aside. Let's get to the 2 that actually matter. First, or maybe third, we are going to see a complete desert, abysmal level of new legislation being pushed through, anti-legislation. And that's a good thing. We're going to see a lot less of that being pushed through. Now, there's a lot going on in Washington right now. There's also a lot on the state levels that are in committees, proposed legislation that haven't been voted on, and I think those will never see the light of day, at least until this election cycle is over. So that's good news. That affects us. We're watching it. I know you all are watching it, but my prediction is almost no new legislation. We're not going to be voting on anything. I know in Tennessee, there's a constitutional carry law that's been proposed. It's in committee. The report from the governor is it's never going to see the light of day in this current session. So I'm watching that. That's a good one. That's a good law. But there's some other ones that I think will never come out of committee. Watching that. All right, the 4th thing, how this affects all of us. It's been kind of interesting. A lot of first-time buyers have gone and tried to buy. They have found out, once again in California, as well as several other states, that they stand in line, they go down to get something to protect themselves, their families, and they can't buy anything. Why? Because they have voted in morons who have put so many draconian laws on the books that they can't protect their families. And I find that interesting. I do believe that there is a tipping point coming in this. I think overall, and this is the first time I've said this on this channel, but I think overall the current climate of what's going on is going to have a net positive effect on freedom and our constitutional rights. I do believe that. I think there's going to be some idiots who try and use this crisis to propose more stuff. I think we're headed the other direction. I hope that. That's just my prediction. That's 4 ways that it affects you. Now, 2 more things I want to mention to you in tonight's episode. And this one, I'll put it up right here. I'm not going to say his name because of the algorithm. But there's his name and there's his face. If you don't know what's going on, do a quick search and read a little bit about that. But my heart goes out to that family as well as to this guy. He's a good dude. And the other deal is that the mainstream media is almost complete blackout, not covering it. Now, My information on this is a couple hours old. Things may have changed, but my understanding is that CNN and MSNBC, as well as several of the other mainstream media sources, are not even saying his name on air. You can find an article about him on CNN right now, the .com, but you can't find it in the actual video coverage on cable TV. So his name needs to be not forgotten. Even though I know, ironically, I'm not saying it right now. Again, there's a lot going on that I'm dealing with behind the scenes. So just pay attention. There's his name. Finally, you may have to put on your tinfoil hat on this one, but there's been a lot of thoughts about what went on in the last couple of days on Ventura Boulevard in LA, and this right there was seen on city streets. There's a whole lot of theories out there about how these are getting put out there. Yeah, in the middle of the afternoon, right before the nighttime stuff happens. And so there's different people that are having different theories about that. But as of today, a really good source said that Attorney General Barr, he knows who is working with the folks that are doing this and scheduling these things, and the nationwide throwing of objects as well as what's going on in the streets. That Attorney General Barr knows what's going on. Now, I know I'm being a little cryptic and I'm not saying the actual words and I'm not putting links to a lot of this stuff. It's all on Google. The Google has everything, but I'm trying to be careful as well. Again, there's things that I'm dealing with that you don't even want to listen to, but it's just stuff, and there's things going on. I'm watching. I know you all are watching as well. That was my notes on the floor very loudly. I am watching, and I know you all are, and I think it matters for us, all of us, to pay attention. From my cold, dead hands, and boy, do I mean that now more than ever. Bye.